Hey Aries, welcome to your March 2017 general reading. My name is Dre. These are going to be your messages. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, all of your feedback, all of your views, all of your subscriptions. I'm beyond excited and grateful. You guys have been amazing. Um, so before I start, report the fake accounts if you see somebody trying to use my videos on their account. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I just want to get that out the way first because I see it happen to a lot of other tarot readers, and it sucks because some of those videos actually get a lot of views. It's kind of gross. So if you see those, just report those accounts. Sorry, I'm trying to read my notes. Oh yeah, if you're subscribed to my channel, enable the notifications because YouTube does this thing where they don't, you might be subscribed to somebody, but they won't tell you or show you if they've uploaded a new video. So be sure to enable those. It should be right next to the red subscription box. There's like a bell, so just enable that. So I also have a Twitter if you guys want to follow me there. I kind of want to make it an extension of this channel. It's going by in earnest, piece by piece, so no rush. But if you want more from me, just follow over there. And I'm still doing personal readings, private readings, or whatever. I'm continuing my discount through March because it's Pisces season, as well as Aries season. So happy birthday to the Aries that were born in March. So, yes, that will actually continue. So just email me. I have my email down in the description box, and we can get started from there. So, yes. Now, like I've been doing with the other signs, I've been trying not to incorporate the last readings because after the Aquarius new moon, I really inside of me felt this wave of new energy. Just everything that I feel like I've been holding on to 2016 just kind of died. But with the other readings, you guys are fourth or fifth or something. I've had to incorporate the previous readings anyway. Aries, we have a lot of activity happening in your sign. Mars and Uranus conjunction, which would have already happened by the time I record this, or by the time you guys see this, rather. We've also had Mars and Venus as well. Okay, I'll just take these. Something was telling me to take them. I'll just take them. Yes, so you guys you're meeting new people, you're talking to people, you're doing things, you're getting yourself out there, people are coming to you, but it's all in service of you actually truly living in your own comfortable Aries self. And that's probably come under some sort of resistance, or you've had to probably change aspects of yourself or discover new sides of yourself with Jupiter in Libra, which is now retrograde. So a lot of you might be really putting your close commitments into focus. But I've also gotten with you, Aries, for all the readings I've done for you guys so far, is the ability to try to stay patient, but also really stay true to yourself, because I feel like other people are trying to not control you, but just they're putting limits on you. You feel stifled in some way or another, which shouldn't be Aries' energy at all. So at the bottom of the deck, we actually have your card, the Emperor, in reverse. It's at least your card in traditional Rider-Waite. In the center, we have the Seven of Swords. Sorry for the glare, as always. I like to record at all hours of the day. We also have the King of Pentacles. I'm using Tarot of the Illuminati, very popular deck. I love the imagery. We have the Nine of Wands. Pisces actually had this in the exact same spot. So some of you might be dealing with the Pisces or have Pisces energy. Or maybe it's just because it's Pisces season. We have Ace of Cups reverse. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Three of Wands reverse. We have the Strength card. We have Temperance reversed. And we have the Eight of Cups. All right, Aries. So the first message I feel like, or that I'm feeling, is that you're dissatisfied. I mean, plain and simple. But it's not something that I feel like you guys are ready to look at head on. You feel it. You know it's there. You know something is off. You know there is a situation around you. Again, I'm not doing strictly love. I can see love here, but I also see work. I see a lot of things here in terms of the situation. So I'm going to try to keep it as general as I can. Yeah, it's not like you guys have lost hope or that you're losing hope. It's more like, what do you do now? How do you... Who also had Temperance in reverse? I want to say Gemini. I think also had Temperance in reverse. But I could be wrong. But either way, I feel like, I don't want to say you're making mountains out of molehills, because there is something here that is substantial. There is an emotional pain. There's emotional hurt here that you've been carrying. You're still carrying, and that I still get that for a lot of you, you're probably still on the defense with somebody. You probably feel like you're having to justify your actions or your decisions. That's another, Aries, as well as all the other fire signs, you having to actually see yourself reflected in how other people are viewing you. And for some of you might be taking it in a bad way, but it's mainly so you guys can actually go in and introspect and try to figure out what needs to be done. And that's not easy for a lot. That's not easy for anybody, regardless of what sign or what energy you normally have. It's just that with fire energy, you just have to do it differently. Just as you would with earth or air or water. It's all different. And so I'm getting the sense that for you guys, in order to actually unburden yourself from something, you are going to have to, one, acknowledge it exists. Because the universe is giving you this, I feel like you've already carried this in with you, this strength energy. The ability or the desire to actually just forge ahead and go forward and just go all out with whatever sort of idea or direction you plan to take your life in. For some of you, you could be moving. But for others, it's like maybe moving won't be the right idea, because I feel like your ideal, how you're viewing your current situation and how you're viewing your current situation simply just needs to change. It can't be totally predicated on a me, egoic sort of stance. Not to say that that's always a bad thing, but it's just like, look around you as well. Make sure that you aren't hurting people around you, and that you are living, and that you are on the up and up. And I see you really trying to do that with the Seven of Swords here. It's imperative for you to keep a keen eye, not only on the behaviors of those around you and the actions of those around you, but also with how you are putting that out there. I'm feeling the very karmic energy where you'll be putting out what you receive. So I think it's best to guard against trying to use your words and trying to use tactics, your intelligence using those sort of tactics in a way to undermine other people's either authority, undermine people's security in themselves. Don't go around being too rude to people. And if this isn't you, you are definitely dealing with somebody that's like this. They could be an earth sign because we have the King of Pentacles there. So they could be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Or they can just be somebody that you have like respect for, that you work for, that is like a patriarch of the family or a matriarch. Um, but this person, they could be using their authority or their power in a way that's probably not entirely right or correct, and you probably sense this injustice, and you probably feel like there's something you need to do personally in order to sort of get through this person, because you might just really have to. You're just putting up with their bullshit, or you're putting up with their words. They're leaving pitfalls for you to fall into. They're leaving you traps to walk into, and you always feel like dealing with them. You have to walk around that you have to walk on eggshells, or that you have to dealing with simply being in their presence is exhausting. You know, Aries, when we come into a place where our our life, it unfolds in a way that we become aware of our own power. We, even if it comes in like just if it's fleeting, we get this feeling within us where we're just like, oh my God, I see where I need to go, and I totally see this person for who they are. I totally see what this job situation, what it has to offer, what it doesn't have to offer. I see the sort of BS that this person has been giving to me or whatever. So I feel like if some of you are like on your own, in a way in which you're not exclusively dealing with somebody else, like I'm mainly thinking like a work situation or uh, somebody you're just, I mean, probably not even living with, but I mean, it could be, because I'm getting the sense that you need to team up with somebody, or you need to rebuild some sort of foundation, rebuild some sort of courtesy with somebody, so they can help you. Excuse me. Knock down this sort of mental barrier you've put yourself in. I mean, with this Nine of Wands, I'm really getting the sense that a lot of you've taken on a lot. You're still carrying a lot of. That's why if this is a relationship, it's just that you've been dealing with somebody's crap for way too long. And again, you're in this position where you have to uh, use your cunning and use your wiles to like sort of tiptoe around them, because this situation is just fraught with emotion. It's like an emotional hurricane, you and this person. I really got that in the last reading, where it's just that you two, if it wasn't you, it was like Sagittarius. Sagittarius had a tough reading, but not to bring Sagittarius into this. But it's just that you guys are probably dealing with somebody or with a group of people, maybe, where it's just like you're probably even at a work situation, a marriage. I'm thinking of like a structure in general, where it's like there's no solidity to it. Everybody's just sort of fending for themselves, and yet you are the one that is probably the most put upon. You're the one that probably has to either hear people's stories every day about what's going on, hear the gossip, and just sort of just stand around and listen to it. And you guys, I feel like what's necessary is for you guys to realize, like, oh my God, I'm tired of this. I don't care. Like, there's a part of you that really needs to break out. That's the word. I've been trying to condense all these readings into like one word or one phrase. So far, I'm thinking like breakout for you guys, because there, you know more than you want. That you know more about your current situation than you care to admit, Aries. There is a part of yourself that you don't want to go there. You know, nobody wants to always go to that huge blind spot in our memory or in our minds or in our present situation, that if we were to just look at it and stare at it face on, assess it, size it up and down, and realize that it's nothing but just this mental ball of yarn or whatever that we've allowed ourselves to get tangled in. If you're able to actually realize that, and you're able to realize what you've lost because of this, like if you understand, like, oh wow, like I totally gave up this part of my life or this side of myself just to please these people, or I totally, I'm only being rude, or I'm only being domineering because I'm making up for this part of myself that I've lost. I feel like if you guys are able to actually come to grips with what is limiting you, what is hampering you from, what is making you tired, what is making you feel like, again, that you have to be just super cautious, or that you have to be super, or you're just being super sensitive right now, and things are just like at a boiling point. And it's going to be important for you guys to understand that there is a lot of emotions here that you have not addressed at all. There are dreams. There are communications that you haven't had. There are people that you haven't talked to. There are emotions you haven't gotten on the table. There is hurt that you haven't even looked at. You're just like, well, I mean, it's not hurting now. So, I mean, we're fine now. I don't hate my job this week. So what's the problem? Because ultimately there's something here that needs to be righted. The Emperor reverse being the overall energy is just telling me that there is trouble in paradise, I guess, because the Emperor rules over, he's created and he's birthed and he's groomed this land to be as perfect as he can make it. He's hospitable. He's generous. He's diplomatic. But when it's reversed, it's just that everything is just out of whack. The very method through which we're communicating, how we're relating to ourselves in terms of where we see ourselves now, how we see ourselves in the future, how we even used to think of ourselves, what it means when we're just running on pure ego, when we're just all about one particular thing, whether it's money or whether it's just pleasure or something. It's showing us that there's something here that needs to be put back in balance, temperance in reverse. So it's going to be crucial for you guys to understand what that means within in your own way, because Seven of Swords, that's an energy that only we know. All of the sevens, it's a very personal number, as well as spiritual, I find. I mean, they're all personal, but sevens are, I feel like, really, especially about ourselves and that wall that we're not breaking through yet, that fourth wall. And with this, it's just that the situation is tense. Things are changing. It's just like, I don't know, like I've worked at a place before where the factory was closing down. It's just like months before, like you could sort of feel that in the air, even though if the higher ups didn't tell us that. It's that sort of energy with the Seven of Swords. It's just that everybody is a little bit more on edge now, or you feel it, and everybody has intuitive skill. Everybody has intuition. It's just whether or not we're willing to be open to it. So for you guys, it's going to be a question about either the relationship you're in, whether or not you're actually happy, whether or not you get satisfaction with the work you do, whether or not you feel like you can take what you have now and take it into the future, whether or not it's even sustainable a year from now, hell, a month from now. It's like there's a huge part of ourselves that we need to let go of. There's a huge there's baggage here that needs to be just taken out. Some of you might be trying to come to a place where you are able to deal with all of this because we have that King of Pentacles. Or maybe you're you're dealing with this problem exclusively with somebody else, or again, the desire is that you should, um, because it's important for you. If I feel like it's going to be important going forward in terms of your sense of foundation, emotional foundation, your passion, any sort of communications you want to that you want to blossom going forward. It can't blossom if you are hanging on to past hurt. If you're allowing yourself to just be this blank shell, this blank slate, this person that is sort of allowing other people to use you as a doormat, or you just running over everybody else just to suit your own needs. It's going to be important to understand, where does that balance lie for you? Because you have this, the universe is working with you. It's just that you need to figure out how to channel it, Aries. So from the from the Osho deck, excuse me, I love this deck. I'm going to use it as like extra bit of advice. We have the Ten of Fire, which in this deck is suppression, correlates to the Ten of Wands. So let me just read that. And I love the advice from this because it's very like chill. It's like super like laid back, and it's something that I feel like we can all do. And I think Virgo got that. Virgo or Libra. But anyway, in Sanskrit, the name is Alya Vigyan, the house where you go on throwing things into the basement that you want to do, but you cannot because of social conditions, culture, civilization. But they go on collecting there, and they affect your actions, your life, very indirectly. Directly, they cannot face you. You have forced them into darkness, but from the dark side, they go on influencing your behavior. They are dangerous. It is dangerous to keep all those inhibitions inside of you. It is possible that these are the things that come to a climax when a person goes insane. Insanity is nothing but all those suppressions coming to a point where you cannot control them anymore. But madness is acceptable while meditation is not. And meditation is the only way to make you absolutely sane. Excuse me. Meditate on what is holding you back, Aries. Meditate on what emotions you need to let go of. Meditate on how you actually see your future. Not just this fantasy idea, or this idea somebody else has put into your head, or the idea that society has put into your head, if you want to go real big about it, about where you need to be, who you are, and where you're going. Because ultimately, the truth in all of this, and being able to skillfully weave your way through any sort of negativity and hostility, I feel like, and actually facing that fear and facing how you can transform it into something that you can be reborn from, that's going to be important, Aries. And it's not going to be anything that you can do in a month. It's not going to be anything that you can do in these 2 weeks or whatever, which is generally how I view these energies, about 2 weeks out from when I'm recording, 2, 3. So yeah, and because of that, I will always be glad to help you guys. So see me in the middle of the month when I come back for your March mid-months. It's always a pleasure, Aries. Thank you guys. Bye.